the views.
Yeah, you gotta try to steal the views from everybody else. Welcome to Sporky News Podcast. We are live, and we just lost somebody. Wow, they were like, "Okay, you came live, and I'm leaving." All right, and one of those people is me, so that's fantastic. How you doing? How you doing, my friend? Script Doctor, welcome to the Sporky News Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. I'm just trying to stay healthy as best I can and get some YouTube work done aside from regular work done. How about yourself?
I believe the same, my friend. I'm still working, so I still have to get up today. Though, funny thing, had my phone plugged in. My phone sucks, so it was burning more battery than it was actually charging because I didn't have it like at the right freaking angle, and my phone died and then restarted. So I woke up at like, I don't know, it must have been like, I get up around 3 for work. And I woke up at like 2:30. I'm like, oh, I got a half hour. And the next thing I know, my work phone is going off at 6 from my boss from Connecticut calling and being like, are you dead? You're supposed to be at work an hour ago. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. So my day started off perfect. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But
oh boy.
yeah, we might have some people stopping by in a little while. We might have a Drew sighting, Supreme Heretic. Actually, Stephen Walton is on his way here. We also have let's see, FinalDeathStar might stop by. Tom said he might stop by. Jane Theory is going to jump in the show. I'd like to have her on. She's really cool. I like her.
Yeah.
I just heard a knock, but I guess that was not my thing here. So we're going to go over a couple things, but let me know how's Canada right now with the whole BeerBug.
Well, so far, the Toronto area, which is about a half hour south of me, Toronto itself is a whole hour, just to show you how the area stuff works. They're kind of in a pseudo lockdown. All public spaces that don't do delivery for food is pretty much closed. So that's about it. There's limits to, I think, no more than 50 people per like 200 square feet area of a store or something.
Really?
Yeah. I know that there are lineups out when you go further north towards where I am, away from the lake. There are lines outside of grocery stores and shops and convenience stores and stuff just to keep things in, and retailers are limiting the excessive quantities that people want to buy just in case there's a panic.
Everywhere you go, man, paper towels and toilet paper. It's like, come on, people. Like you did say off right before we went on, which was smart. At least people are cleaning. Yep. They're like super deep cleaning their places because, most people don't. So that's good.
It is good. I mean, it's a little sad that they're doing it because of this and not just because it's good to be a little hygienic.
Right.
But like yesterday, me and my girlfriend came back from a spa weekend because like she had the opportunity and they didn't close down, so she was going to take it because why not?
Oh yeah.
And so she visited me on Monday, and we went downtown just to get some supplies and things like that. And downtown, everything was fully stocked except for like we saw this one shelf at like a super city market for like President's Choice brand, and one shelf that had paper towels normally didn't have any, and that was it. But there's tons of toilet paper, tons of bleach, tons of all the other amenities needed.
So everything you need.
Everything was being stocked. Like if there was stuff that was sold out, I guess these businesses were able to get restocked relatively quickly, which is a very good thing.
Yeah.
I think there's still only 41 confirmed cases in my province, which given the population size is pretty good. It's not great for those 41. And I hope that they have a speedy recovery.
Well, let me ask you a question. Your province. Now give me in states. How big is your province?
It's comparable to Texas, but not quite as big. I think.
Oh, but that's still pretty big,
like,
man.
Ontario is pretty large. Quebec is larger, so Quebec is closer to the size of Texas, I think. But I mean, it's still pretty darn big.
Yeah, that is. Oh, we got a Tom sighting, and here he is. Hello, Tom.
I'm everywhere, man.
You really are, dude.
I need to get a mask too.
If anyone doesn't know, Tom will be at 9 o'clock Eastern on the the council. What is it called? Oh my God, I'm blanking.
The High Council, and tonight it's
Hi.
on Mecha Random's channel.
It is on Mecha Random's channel. That is it. Now,
Yep.
Are you official? Are you official
Yes. Yep.
now? Okay, so it's you, Mecha, and who else?
World Class.
World Class. So it's the three.
Well, Jeff, but yeah.
I love that show, man. I really do enjoy watching it. What do you guys average out for people? Is it as big as my show with the whole 4 or 5 people I get?
Yeah, we usually get about that.
Nice. So we were going to talk about a couple things, but first we're just catching up, seeing how everybody's doing, making sure no one's losing their mind. Bear Nerd Fun called me a boomer, so that's nice. We also got Happy Dinosaur 8000 says, I'm wishing everyone disease-free and happy day. I think that's the best thing we could do. Have you guys heard that they are now warning it's the millennials they're worried about? And not because millennials are the ones that will be getting sick and things like that, but the millennials are the ones that are still going out, still going to bars, still going to restaurants.
So they're still stupid.
Yes.
See, This is why I identify as Generation Y, because everyone who I went to grade school and high school with, that I've spoken to through social media and traditional telephone calls, we're all staying in. And we were born between like 82 and 86.
So tail end of Gen X, beginning of that millennial age, right?
We're in that. I'm born in that sweet spot where my generation can actually relate to every generation that came before it, because we didn't have at-home internet, before we were born. So that's where I would draw the line, is millennials start where at-home internet became like a relatively common service, as common as television and the telephone. And that's until like the early to mid 90s.
Right. Yeah, no, you have a valid point. The first time I ever saw a home computer was actually 1995. My roommate in college had one. And I was just blown away by it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. The only time you saw that was in like the movie War Games or Ferris Bueller's Day Off, both with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. So Matthew Broderick, love that guy, dude. Love that guy. He's on a show. It's on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about like anybody over pretty much the age, anybody who's an adult turns into a zombie. And it's like pretty much the kids divide into their cliche classes. So you got the jocks, you got the chicks, the hard women, you got the dorks, and they all like battle for power. And it's like a funny version of like Ferris Bueller meets 28 Days. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good comp.
it really is. And he's in it, and he's really good in it. It's pretty funny. You got to check it out, but I can't remember the name of it. If anybody hasn't been subscribed to Bear Nerd Fun, make sure you do. He does have fourth wave late edition shows that get a little nutty, so feel free to check it out. Angelus Draven says, I end up still having to work. Don't have the 2 weeks off because they are keeping the DC and FC for Nordstrom open. Same with my company, man. My company employs what I work for over like a couple thousand people. I was telling Script Doctor this, and they're getting a lot of flack from the state that they're still open, but got to do what we got to do. Ironcast saying, Hail Spork Council. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, I guess there's 3 prongs to us. That's a spork, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, we are a spork. A lot of sporks have 3, some have 4. I've been doing a lot of spork research. Welcome to the party, Jane Theory. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We are good. You are coming in loud and clear. I don't know about me, but I'm a little distorted, I guess. I am on hotel Wi-Fi, so it sucks. It sucks, Jane. So introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are and where you could be seen.
Hey, guys. I'm Jane Theory, and I have a channel here on YouTube.
That's all you, Jane.
I'm also on Twitter, and I am on Facebook and Pinterest so far. I do television and film reviews primarily, as well as some news and commentary.
Cool.
That's
Go check out Jane Theory's channel.
Damn, I missed that. I can't hear her yet. It came in and then went out. So again, Wi-Fi sucks. Sorry about that, Jane. So I'll have to hear what you said because it sounded funny from Script Doctor's laugh. So let's talk about this. I'll bring this up. I wanted to share this. There's 2 articles you're going to see right off the rip. Bounding into comics, of course. And here we go. Morbius actor Jared Leto was unaware of the coronavirus outbreak because he spent 12 days in a meditative isolation. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, seriously, first of all, that picture freaks me out. But second of all, what do you guys think about this?
I believe it.
Right. It's Jared being Jared.
Yeah, he's pretty burnt. And then you have over here, you have Netflix polar actress Vanessa Hudgens raked over the coals for her opinion on the coronavirus pandemic. Script doctor. Thank you, my friend. Oh, I finally can hear you now, Jane. Thank God. So which one do we want to start with, people?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's a tough one because they're both crazy brunettes.
Let's start with the hotter one, Jared Leto. All right.
Okay. He is the hotter one.
We're gonna... Oh, my son.
Oh, man.
Well, it's kicking back on. There we go. I'm telling you.
Hotel Wi-Fi, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for watching my show. Don't go see Gary at Nerdrotic because he already has probably 5,000 people watching anyways. Yeah, he has a better computer system than me. So here we go. In a world where virtually everyone is quarantined and has heard about coronavirus, one person was seemingly the last to know, and that was singer and Morbius actor Jared Leto. Leto posted on Instagram and Twitter he was in the desert for 12 days on a trip of isolation and meditation, man. He was incommunicado, without a phone, that means, or any mode of communication, the actor wrote. We had no idea what was happening outside the facility, he said across his social media, including in this post below. You know, I don't know about anybody else, but I wish I had their problems.
I mean, was he being a character? What was going on?
I don't know, but he's going out to the desert with a group of people. That's a little Manson-esque.
It is.
He does look Manson-esque. That's crazy.
Didn't he have a concert or something where he was very much?
I feel bad because I can't hear anybody but Script Doctor.
That's so bad.
You say something and then I'll translate.
I know,
So I
Tom.
don't know
You
if
come
you
on.
can hear me.
You know what I do?
Not.
I can't hear you, Tom, and it hurts that you don't talk to me when you're on my streams right now. I want to hear your beautiful voice.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
There we go. So let's read this real quick, and then I think I'm going to shut this down. So, wow, 12 days ago, I began a silent meditation in the desert. We were totally isolated, no phone, no communication, etc. We had no idea what was happening outside the facility. Walked out yesterday into a very different world, one that's been changed forever.
In other words, he's been getting high and shit for 12 days.
He's been
Exactly.
he's been eating peyote. Walked out yesterday into a very different world, one that's been changed forever. Mind-blowing, to say the least. I'm getting messages from friends and family all around the globe and catching up on what's going on. Hope you and yours are okay. Sending positive energy to you all. Stay inside. Stay safe. Jared Leto. So, I don't know why I wanted to read this. It's more or less the arrogance and like, does anybody really care? Does anybody care that, I guess somebody did because they wrote an article, but do I care that Jared Leto spent 12, like he didn't know? It's like, are you that important? All these people that their job is to pretend to be somebody else and get paid a lot of money for it. Right. I don't need to hear their takes on everything. What do you think, Jane?
Well, I'm wondering if he was out there with people, why wouldn't his people tell him what's going on? Like, apparently someone failed him at some point.
Right. You think like he was like, you're coming with me. No one bring phones. Everyone.
Jared Leto? Yeah, he's a nut bar.
Is he? I mean, I know he was like on the set of, what was that? Suicide Squad, sending crazy gifts to people.
And see, that's what I was wondering. Is he getting into character? Is this for something?
No, this is just for 2 weeks to get high.
Yeah, he's been going method ever since Requiem for a Dream because he was told by the director to not have any sex for 30 days and to show what addiction is like. And he followed it through, and apparently that's how he got, his reputation.
So it broke him.
Well, I don't know if anybody else saw that movie, but that was disturbing. That was a disturbing movie.
Yes, it was.
I have been on that side of that world. They took everything the worst you can think of and went for it. Ugh. Gives me chills. We have, if Jared Leto says he has a big plans, you run. Manny Bothan says, you think Jared Leto had to stop and ask if he just had some bad stuff he got into? I know what you're bringing there. I know what you're saying. More importantly, it's the anniversary of the Alabama Leprechaun. Oh, it is. It is. You got $5? You got $5? That, Tom, you made my day when you said that was one of the funniest clips you ever saw.
You went for it. You stayed in character, and you just nailed the timing every time.
Do you have that? Can you put that up?
Oh, yeah. I think it's on Mary's stream. She clipped it out. Or on Mary's channel.
If you don't mind sharing it, because as you can see on my side, I don't know if everyone, Script or Jane, saw that. We were on.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay. We were on Shenanigans. Oh, you did? Well, you'll get to see it. Now, I was going for like a Southern, like the guy, if you've ever seen that Alabama Leprechaun newscast, I was trying to do that guy's voice. I don't know if I came off racially insensitive, but I was going for it. And I think I did a damn good job.
Oh, if I didn't know you were white, I would have thought you were totally like
totally white. I would have thought you were totally a white guy trying to be a black guy.
No, it sounded legit.
Okay.
So,
you got $5? You got $5? Well, you know how many people have asked me that question? It's like something you got used to back in the day. I was a hardcore drug
My
user.
favorite line was like, like Lucky Charms. All right, I ain't gonna ruin it. There we go. Damn, Lucky Charms are good. You got Lucky Charms?
All right, let us.
I didn't mean to ruin that one, but that's like my.
No, that's line. Good stuff. All right, everyone, this is me. This is me and Robot Shlomo.
And you can find this on Mary Mayhem's channel, of course. Damn it, she's got a cooler opening than I do. Hers actually feels like a real movie logo.
Good evening, Channel 5 News. This is reporter Stockton Wells here on the scene. We have reports of a small creature terrorizing the neighborhood. We are here live on the scene here at 230 Maple and Elm. We have reported there is a small green creature. What people are saying looks like a leprechaun. Let's talk to an eyewitness. Sir, would you mind coming over here? Sir.
Cop? You cop.
No, sir, I'm not. I am not a cop. I'm Stockton Wells from Channel 5 News.
Oh shit, Stockton Wells, brother. What up? Oh man. Hey mama, I'm on TV with Stockton. Yeah, the 5 o'clock guy. What's up, man?
Yes. We understand that you have you seen this small creature?
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen its evil yellow eyes, man.
Yes. What did it look like, sir?
I'm going to tell you a secret, Stockton. I haven't told many people except the mailman, the milkman, the corner man, my drug addict. I mean, my doctor. It's a leprechaun, Stockton. It's a motherfucking leprechaun.
Are you saying it's a leprechaun?
Did I stutter? It's a leprechaun up a tree, brother. It's a leprechaun up a tree. Now, if you can give me a boost, I'm going to get that thing's pot of gold. Stop it. God, your hair is nice, man. You got $5?
Actually, I don't have any change on me. So you're saying it's a leprechaun like out of the Irish folklore, the very same.
I don't know what country you're talking about, but you ever see Lucky Charms?
Yes, I have seen Lucky Charms.
I'm talking. There's stars, there's rainbows, there's clovers, and the other things that go in that cereal. God damn, that cereal's delicious. You got any Lucky Charms?
No, sir, I don't have any Lucky Charms. When was the last time you saw this leprechaun?
So I was outside this morning at 3 o'clock. I've been up for about 48 hours, and I've been staring at this tree nonstop. And this little son of a bitch came down, and he was talking to me. He was talking to me, Stockton. I was scared. I was really scared. And it wasn't like that Jennifer Aniston leprechaun. It was like, I don't know, like a Danny DeVito leprechaun, and it was asking crazy questions.
Like what, sir?
I don't know, man. Why are you asking me? I was out of my ever-loving mind. But he was saying something to the effect of, like, you got $5?
So the leprechaun wanted to borrow $5 from you.
No, I'm asking you. Oh, the leprechaun. Yeah. No, the leprechaun was asking me about a magical kingdom if I wanted to go there. And I said yes, but I turned my eyes and I looked back and he was gone. And now I think he's up that tree. Can you go up the tree and get this pot of gold, man?
So you're saying the leprechaun had a pot of gold up in this tree?
Can we talk serious for a second, man? Do I stutter?
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure, verifying the information you're giving me.
Hold on one second. Mama! Come out here and tell Stockton about the leprechaun. My mom's not even home. Shit. Yes, there's a leprechaun.
No, baby, I'm here. I just was putting a little kettle on the stove. What you up to, darling?
Have you seen the leprechaun? Tell him about it.
No, baby. Now, I don't know how many times I got to tell you that's not a leprechaun. That's your little brother, Terrence, okay? He just likes that hat.
That is not Terrence.
All right.
Terrence has been in prison for 13 years now.
I'm trying to tell you, he's coming back, honey. Anyway, I got to go to the bathroom. My corns is killing me.
Oh, Stockton, she's a liar. She's crazy. That is a leprechaun. Look, just stare up there for a minute. Tell me that ain't a leprechaun.
Sir, I don't see a leprechaun up there.
Really, look, can you climb up a little bit?
I see an old pair of sneakers.
Okay. Look to the right.
Okay, I'm looking to the right. I'm looking to the right, and I'm not seeing a leprechaun. I am seeing a lineman who is working on the telephone line.
He's pretending to be a lineman. Don't you people understand? God damn it, he's magical.
Sir, I have to ask you, if the leprechaun was indeed pretending to be a lineman, why would there be a utility truck here parked right on the street?
That's his rainbow. It's
rainbow.
Stockton, why are you calling me a liar, man?
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just trying to.
Maybe you tell that nice man with the camera if he wants to stay for dinner, he's gonna have to wait a little longer because I got to put extra on the stove. Okay.
No, I think extra on the stove. I think we're good. I think we're good on dinner. Well,
you don't like my mama's dinner?
I didn't say that. I said we have a lot of.
You're coming in. Come on, I'm holding your hand. Let's go.
So this reporter, it looks like he's gonna have a home cooked meal tonight. This is Stockton Wells on the scene. I may not be getting to see the leprechaun, but I
come on, Stockton.
Oh my God! I've been trying to hide in these bushes, but every time I turn around, there's someone with a new camera. They're there. Oh gosh!
I told you, Stockton. I told you. Now tackle that son of a bitch. Get me $5.
Well, it looks like there is indeed a leprechaun here. This is Stockton Wells reporting on the scene. We have found leprechauns are real. Call Guinness. Leprechauns are indeed real.
I like them shoes.
That is
maybe
amazing.
one of my favorite things.
Definitely in the annals of Shenanigans Hall of Fame for sure.
I can't hear any one of you. This is fantastic. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can hear you now. Thank God. All right.
Okay.
That
Welcome back.
that was fun. That was fun. The worst part about that is like Tom was there. I kept losing internet access. Like I have to be honest, when there's any video up, it screws up this Wi-Fi. You know, Marriott just can't handle it, I guess. But I kept dropping out, dropping in. And I thought I dropped out on that thing like 3 times. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to keep going because you never know when I'm going to pop back in. But Rob is like the best straight man ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's amazing. I should shoot him the link. I wonder if he's busy. So
I've been trying to get a hold of his ass all day.
Is he dodging you?
Probably. He don't want to do work.
Oh man. So has anybody heard of any news? Anything going on?
Black Widow got pushed back now.
I just heard that.
That hurt. I was
Yeah,
Shit's getting real, yo.
Are they just pushing it back because they don't want people to go into movie theaters? So,
well, they're probably figuring the theaters are going to be closed then because
Right.
CDC keeps saying like first I heard 8 weeks and then now I heard something about 18 weeks.
18 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's theaters that are in Ontario that are closing till the end of April. So.
Oh my God. Now, let me ask this then. So they're probably done with post-production. I know they sometimes go up to like 2 weeks before, the week before, if you want to do Star Wars style, but
no, they're still filming. Well, they just quit now because they had to close down from the pandemic, but they were still shooting episode 9.
I thought it came out in yeah, you're right. But I thought,
yeah, they're still shooting episode 9.
yeah, wow, man, that took me a sec. Thank you, Script Doctor, for catching that joke. Now, this one is supposed to come out in the beginning of April, I thought, right?
Which one?
The
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
First, I think, or first weekend in May.
Yep, and his Comix Division says, yes, shit is getting real crazy. He is absolutely sure. He's absolutely true. And I'm just
go ahead.
Officially,
the first month of the summer season has kind of been canceled because April's like the new May now.
Right.
Yeah.
That sucks. So let's just say hi to everybody. We got Manny Bothins, Bear Nerd Fun, Angela Stravis, Happy Dinosaur 8000. We also have Jane Theory in the chat. Comix Division. We have Willie Woodward, and I think I just saw Palanuki, or if we like to call him Palabob. He is in the chat. Now, if you weren't here last night, oh shit, there's Fatal J. Jay, if you want me to send you a link, man, I want you on this show. So just let me know in the chat. I want to know how the little people went last night. So if you guys didn't listen, Fatal J was in mid lovemaking of a little person as he was on my stream last night. He literally was huffing and puffing the whole time. I don't know if he was running. I don't know if he was, what was going on. But it came to that there was 3 little ladies and Fatal J. So
there's a story there.
There is a story, and if he wants to come on, I want him to tell us how it finished, because
did the little ladies know they were on a stream?
They had
a live stream, not what would normally be streaming in those situations.
I mean, if he went Helen Keller little ladies, then that's really messed up, but everybody needs love.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
Right? I am not, no matter what people write about me out there on Twitter, I am not prejudiced. When loving comes to loving, I'm fine with it. I'm down. You want to love who you want to love? Love the one you're with, people. I'm sorry. I keep hearing people out.
I've made love to a little person once.
Oh, please fill us in.
That was about half as fun as normal.
That is fantastic.
It was different.
As the Gilkman says, Scott is very prejudiced. Thank you, Gilkman. He never wants me on. You want to come on right now? I have some space until a couple other people jump on, Gilkman. You can come on if you like. Just let me know. I'll send you.
I'm only going to be here for a little bit longer myself, but yeah. So
yeah,
somebody can fill my spot eventually. Yeah.
There you go.
I see Comix Division was in the chat too, and Fatal J.
I think I need to take my my microphone outside. People are fighting. This is fantastic.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Capture it.
Can you hear it?
I kind of
No.
did, but I thought it was just either the TV or something in somebody else's background.
I wonder if they'll let me like report on them like Stockton does.
No.
I think you should try it.
You should just
I
go
mean-
out there and, did y'all see the leprechaun? He just came through here. Motherfucker's naked as a jaybird. Except for shoes. He got some awesome shoes on, man.
Oh, it's damn nice shoe. You got $5? All right. Where is, let's see. Thomas Gilkey, do you want it or not? All right. So things are shutting down. Is there anything still in production?
There was, whose production was it? Did you see Script Doctor? There was somebody bragging that they're still into production, and I can't remember who it was. Some director, older director.
Oh, geez. The only thing I've heard is that Ghostbusters is still on schedule to be released.
Yeah, but they're done shooting that.
Yeah.
I thought it was for, I thought Matt Reeves was also
They shut down Batman for 2
Right,
weeks as
right.
of right now, just 2 weeks. And I think there's a reason for that. I think 2 weeks is probably all they can afford to lose.
Mhm.
And that's long enough to see if anybody major in the production is sick. And by that
Okay.
point, anybody else can be replaced. If as long as it's not a star, they can be replaced.
Yep.
And then it can get shipped back in order, because that's one that Warner Brothers is not going to want to lose any time on. And that's also kind of a good sign that if they're that confident in getting back on track, then that means that things are going well, regardless of what, what some of us may feel about what we've seen.
Mhm.
That means Warner Brothers has a lot of faith in the project. But yeah, no, I mean, pretty much everything else has been shut down, though. There's like maybe one or two things still in production that I know of, and I can't think of the name of the director who's shooting some movie, some older director, not Michael Mann, but somebody like that, some maverick guy who's just like, fuck this, I'm still going. You guys are a bunch of pussies kind of thing. He was both. I can't remember who it was. I feel bad now, but they're posting pictures on Twitter about they were still filming on whatever movie it was he was making. So.
If anybody in the chat knows, please let us know. Now, I know we have. Oh, what's up, Final? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up? I'm trying to get this working. I'm using my phone right now, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it coming
his nipple
through pretty
speaking?
clear?
Yeah, we can hear the porn.
One nipple, the
Does it
singular
sound
nipple.
good?
Strip Doctor nipple.
It would be
usually
my
your
nipple because it's below me.
Oh, you
It's
have
your
the
left nipple.
Uni nipple.
It is my left nipple.
Uni
You're
nipple.
right. Well, when I hear you, Final, I'll talk to you. For now, shut your mouth. Twisted Mind Collision says, fuck, I'm not getting my alerts. I'm late. Hail panel, hail chat. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. People, YouTube's trying to bring me down, man. I
You
am
missed the
growing.
leprechaun?
You missed the leprechaun? No, man. He did miss the leprechaun. Twisted Mind, you'll have to go back a little bit after this is over and give me some more watch time, anyways. And speaking of that, if anybody in the chat watches, according to Christy, please go and watch her videos. She needs less than 900 more hours to get to that monetized level. And that's like a yearly thing, so it keeps adjusting as every day goes. So she really needs as many hours as possible. So just play it in the background, put on one of her streams. She helps all of us out, so please help her out. Damn, I was going to ask you a question, Tom. Oh yeah, my question is this: how hard can this hit Hollywood? Could some of these smaller production companies just go bankrupt?
That's the big question now, because I guess Disney's stock took a major hit. That's why these rumors are flying around once again that, Apple is thinking about buying Disney or could buy Disney. Well, I doubt they're thinking about it. And if they are, the only way it would probably happen would be a hostile takeover, which I'm trying to think of the last big hostile takeover.
Jesus, man. When was that?
80s.
I was going to say
90s.
80s or 90s.
Because they've changed so many laws. Script Doctor. They changed so many laws that you can't really do that anymore, I don't think. But they do, as far as I know, as an entity, own the most stock in Disney. The next person in line would be George Lucas, as far as a living person.
Really?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, because they could come in and technically could levy a takeover if they really wanted to, especially with the stock that low.
Right. And what they would have to do is buy a lot of public stock and then take over and really buy it out from George. If George wanted to screw them, that's how they can do it.
See, and I think George even has some stock in Apple too, if I'm not mistaken, from the Pixar sale and all that shit. Yeah, that's the thing.
Probably, yeah.
That's the thing. It may, honestly, this is the weirdest thing, and this is complete theoretical speculation on my part. And it may not even be something that could legally happen. So just take that into consideration as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's that slight possibility that if George is powerful enough within Apple's corporation and he's powerful enough within Disney and he's that upset, that he could be orchestrating something with some of the power people behind the scenes and they could force a corporate takeover, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I would only see that happening if Disney really starts to plummet.
Well, in which they kind of have, and that's kind of where I don't remember which podcast I was on, because I was on so many in the last few days last night, but we brought it up and we're talking about it a little bit, and I said, even though Disney has had the biggest year in film ever, I can't believe their stock is in this bad a shape that I can't believe they couldn't weather this pandemic.
Yeah, but man, think about it. A lot of their income isn't just movies; it comes from their theme parks. And
parks are a big kick in the nuts.
They're radioactive right now.
Kick in the nuts.
Yep.
Frozen, I don't think performed as well as they were hoping as well.
Right. That other movie, wasn't that with Tom Holland where the dad's half a body? The cartoon with him and Onward
didn't do very well, and it's not going to make its money back probably.
Was that new animated movie that just came out that's gotten a lot of criticism? Was that Pixar? Was that one of theirs?
Yes,
that was Onward. So starts. So I guess they have an LGBT horse or Pegasus.
I don't know. There's some character in there that is lesbian or something like that, though. Yes.
Yeah.
A unicorn.
And it's kind of a stupid premise. I will see it when it comes on TV because it's Tom Holland and the brother is Chris Pratt, exactly. And it's all about them trying. Magic is like out of this magical world, so they're a lot like us, but yet he has the little brother has the ability to bring the dad back, but they only bring back his legs and like torso and like from waist down, and they have to go on some journey to bring their family whole again or something. And usually
I guess his mom would be really happy with that part.
Oh, you know it.
Well, at least you got the part that counts.
Right.
Honestly, the funny part was I forgot all about this movie before it came out. And then when it did came out, I totally didn't even realize it was a Pixar movie until I started seeing some of the headlines. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it was. It looks like one of those cheap fucking 20th Century Fox type movies or something, like some rando movie that we get out of some of these other companies that isn't like, a Minions movie or a Disney Pixar movie anymore.
But I mean, it's just a bizarre concept. Like I don't. You had to have been high to come.
Well, the only reason this fucking thing happened was because John Lasseter isn't there. I guarantee it.
And when did he leave?
He didn't leave.
Oh, he got pushed out of this.
He got Me Too'd for hugs.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That is right. He got screwed out of that.
Yeah, not because there was a few younger women that felt like they didn't like how he was running things, and they didn't like being told what to do by a old white dude, and they thought that their ideas were so much better than his, and they were claiming he was stealing their ideas when really all he was doing, he's the fucking producer, he's the head of the company. It's his job to pick and choose what gets out there and to fix it. And that's what he was doing, and they saw that as destroying their stories. So they ended up.
So producers do. They steal ideas. That's their job, to steal ideas and make them happy.
I don't care. I look at it this way. If I'm going to have somebody take my idea and make it better, I no better person than somebody like John Lasseter. I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
a hell of a lot worse than that.
I mean, if you think about it, that Me Too movement was turned into yes, they did get rid of some slime. Like, I mean, Harvey Weinstein is a scumbag, yet it wasn't like, I mean, if he did rape those girls, he deserves every bit of what he's getting and more. But then you had people like the guy from Talking Dead who didn't do anything and almost ruined his career. The one where J.J. Abrams' wife took over the guy's position, they pretty much pushed him out just to get her in that position.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, like I forget that guy's name now.
Sujihara, was that the one?
Yeah. No, I don't think it was.
Or was that
was
the
it
guy who
Suji?
coming in? It was that I can't remember if he's the one who came and took over after him, or if he's the one who got pushed out.
No, the one who got pushed out, she took over his position. So you might be right on that.
And Moonves, of course.
Yep, Moonves. Yep. I mean, it was one of those things where they weaponized it. They used it against people they didn't like because no one. You're not allowed to believe you
all
can't
white
question,
dudes,
but they were,
except for Bill Cosby,
and Bill was drugging people.
That's
God,
the thing.
dad.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not even trying to sound like I'm sticking up for Weinstein or making excuses for that piece of shit, because he is a piece of shit. But I would use the term rape loosely, because all those women were in relationships with him, and honestly, the sentence that honestly, the sentence he got out of that situation is not the type of sentence that somebody would normally get unless they were trying to make an example out of somebody.
Oh no, they were making an example out of him. I mean,
this is the rare occasion where being somebody in Hollywood and being who he was actually got him in a worse situation than if he would have just been a Joe Nobody.
And you know, it was women like, I'm sorry, Rose McGowan, whose career is on the back now because she has ruined her face with plastic surgery. So what does she do? She no longer needs him, so she goes after him, you know? And then you have people like Hillary Clinton, who was best buddies with him. Bill was really good friends with him. And what do? The minute he gets hit, they distance themselves. I'm shocked he ain't dead yet.
He will be soon. He will be pretty soon.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. It's like, you see, that's the other thing is the 20-some years is kind of excessive because motherfucker ain't going to live for another 5 or 10.
And
if you look at him, he's on borrowed time now.
Oh, God, yeah. He got 23 years. And he is
23
also,
or 24, something like that.
Right, but he's also getting extradited to California for another case where he can get 29. He's dying in prison.
And that's what I'm saying. A good 10 years would have been enough, and have him on the sex registry, because it's not. He's going to probably end up getting out early because he's not going to be seen as a threat. But then he's going to die a few months after he gets out anyway, or something.
Well, he's already up there.
That's what I'm saying, and he's not in the best of health either.
Right, and let's put it this way: I worked at a sex offender treatment facility for 4 years, and I have seen people that did the worst things you can think of, and they got out of prison way quicker than Harvey Weinstein ever will.
Oh yeah, and that's my point exactly. Is I've seen guys who've gotten caught with hundreds of photos of things that you shouldn't have. I'm not going to say it out loud to get you struck, right? And they've only gotten 90 days Huber out of it. Right. It's insane. And like I said, if it was any of us or any Joe Nobody who was in the same position as him and was looking at the same kind of accusations and the stuff that they said in the actual courtroom, and there's a reason why they had a hung jury, is because in any case, especially a sexual assault case where somebody claims sexual assault but they were in a relationship, it is very, very, very difficult to sway a jury into believing that, it's very tough to believe that there was a forced kind of thing. Yeah. Because then you have a situation where, well, obviously the one person is admitting that they did have, relations with this other person. So is this other person. And, when you're getting into the situation, it's like, well, if they're claiming they were in a relationship, then it's really difficult to prove what times were and weren't consensual without any kind of physical proof, like a video or an audio recording or even a witness of any kind. So it's really tough.
They understand it. The jury with all of the coverage leading up to it.
Oh God, yeah. And Jane, I have a question for you, and Drew, I'm going to introduce you in a second, but I just want to say one thing. For the people in the chat, let's there is a tweet out there. If you could retweet it, send out, some comments, because people aren't getting notifications. So please send it out. Let's try to get some more people in here. Drew, how are you, buddy?
Hey man, I am good. I'm currently multitasking. I'm making dinner and I'm kind of like entering the stream on my phone. So
No worries, man. No worries. You keep flipping whatever you're flipping and jumping when you need to, my friend.
I should be
Jane,
clear, though. I don't think that Weinstein's innocent in any way, and chances are he's done 10 times worse things to women who have never come forward.
I agree with
that.
I
will say that up front. You know, and my point is he's going to end up dying within the next 5 or 10 years anyway. They're just making an example of him at this point. Same kind of thing as Cosby. But Cosby, again, was another one who obviously, you know, he's been doing this shit for years. So,
and that's a good thing you brought up, because Jane, you made a comment and I didn't know if I heard you right. What were you saying about Cosby?
Oh, that he'd been drugging people from the beginning.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. It's been a well-known thing. Yeah.
I mean, even if
he used to. I knew them pudding pops was laced.
He was giving women Quaaludes, and women knew this.
Yes.
Women were warned, do not be alone. Don't go alone with Bill Cosby, and they still did it. And yes, no one has the right to drug you and have sex with your fish-like body, dead fish body. But, you know, like, people also have to take a little responsibility for themselves and protect themselves. You know, do you want to be famous that bad where you're going to take the opportunity to have Bill Cosby maybe pudding pop you?
Yes, they want to be that bad.
Well, and Weinstein was the exact same situation. All these women were told, don't go. We're going to try to have sex with you. And they went anyway. And a lot of these women just turned around and left. See, there was the difference there. And I'm not trying to stick up for Weinstein, but just from the perceived, you know, reception of the entire situation, I don't see in any situation where Weinstein necessarily forced anybody outside of what Rose McGowan claims, because otherwise all the other women that came to testify, that stuff could be easily, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound really bad, but one of the women said that he forced her to give oral sex. I'm going to not put Jane in this funky position here, but if you don't want to go down on some guy and you're not afraid that he's going to do anything to you physically, you would say no, or probably bite his dick off, I would think.
Easily, very quickly. But, like you said, I mean, a lot of these women, they were thinking about the job or the casting decision. They weren't thinking about in that moment, oh, I'm a victim. They were thinking, this is my path toward advancing in this industry.
Yeah, and the difference with Cosby was, I mean, he'd actually drug them. So, I mean, that's like
but
lower.
Even in that case, they knew. Some of those women were still dating him. They were still around him. They were still coming to his home and his apartment. So they knew.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for either side either, but, you know, what it boiled down to was both these men and Moonves and all the other men that are involved in this, except for maybe Lasseter, which is strange, were all losing their power anyway.
Right.
Like they were all becoming much lesser powerful in Hollywood. Weinstein could barely do half the shit he used to. Bill Cosby was a relic of the past. You know, you could say Bill Cosby to most kids and they wouldn't even know who the fuck you're talking about.
But it was an opportunity for those women now to use that experience to advance their career in a different way.
Oh, yeah. And we'll see 10 books from it now. You're right.
Exactly. So.
And Lifetime movies.
Oh, I don't know about Lifetime movies. I know there's a lot of desperate actors out there, but I don't know of too many of them that would want to be Bill Cosby.
You'd be fucking surprised. Don't you remember that OJ, all the OJ movies and shit they had?
Oh, I remember the OJ movies, but there's still a big conflict with regards to whether he actually did what he did or not.
Joe Jackson?
OJ?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who are we talking about? OJ?
Well, there's OJ, but you also have Joseph Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Like Michael's dad?
Yeah, and he flat out said, "Oh, I beat the hell out them kids."
He used to make them he used to make them get like their own switch to beat that. I mean, the man was vicious, you know, but Final Death Star is here again. Hold on, let me kick him out and
I'm willing to bet that 90% of the stuff we've seen in any TV movie of the Jacksons, it was probably worse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. And you know, when it comes to, again, Jane said it, the casting couch. It bothers me that if you were willing to do this because that's how bad you wanted to be an actress, and then 20 years later, this movement starts and you're like, well, you know what? I am a victim. Well, guess what? You got paid many, many times over for what you did. And he was a dirtbag, but that was known in Hollywood. The casting couch was known.
Well, it's like making a deal with the devil, right? You know,
Mhm.
you kind of know
Sure.
what you're getting into when you make that deal.
Well, I wanted to ask a broader question, Scott.
Mhm.
Like when exactly, because this movement is it may be as good as the good that the Me Too stuff did for some people.
Right.
Where exactly is the statute of limitations? Because, legally there is supposed to be a statute of limitations.
They
But now
changed
you've
that.
got
Every
They
state's
Yeah.
different.
That's what happened. To answer your question, Drew, especially in California.
With Bill Cosby.
Well, and I think this was part of the deal that Corey Feldman pushed for, was they changed the limit of the statute of limitations as far as how many years you could go back now for any kind of rape case, especially minors.
Children. Yep.
So like if you're, I think it's up to like almost, I can't remember if they changed it to 30 or 40 years. It may even be up to 50 now.
I think it
which
may
is
be
crazy, but I mean, for those true victims
gentle.
who actually need justice, yes.
Yes.
For those who are abused as children, I can understand it.
Yep.
But the ones who were adults when they entered the industry and made choices.
And that's right there. You put it perfectly, Jane. It was a choice.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah,
choice.
it-
They had the right to walk away if they wanted to. Now, when it comes to kids like Corey Feldman, and it was really Corey Haim he was talking about.
Right.
I'm going to check out. Actually, I want to watch that documentary tonight or tomorrow.
I watched it.
How was it?
I can't help but feel like Corey Haim pulled the biggest publicity stunt in the
Corey
history.
Feldman, you mean?
Or Corey Feldman pulled the biggest publicity stunt in the history of Hollywood, because there's absolutely nothing in that documentary that isn't already known.
That's what I've heard.
And the one thing that could possibly even say that is maybe something is that he claims, and he shows them on screen, so I don't know how legitimate they are, because she'll probably, unless the law gets involved, you can't prove it. But in some emails, it does sound like Corey Haim's mom is actually saying that she knew what happened, and names Charlie, I think, in one of them. But then, of course, after the fact, she claimed that she never heard that, and And you have
Feldman implies she knew.
Yeah, so that's like the only thing. But again, every single thing in this documentary is something that's already been out there, already known. All the names, all the names that were mentioned were people that were already either outed or have actually already spent time in prison for it.
Right. And I heard a lot of people's complaint about this documentary is he didn't go even higher up the ladder like he implied.
Because I think he says it right in the documentary, and I think that's what's pissed most people off. And again, just to reiterate, this documentary is an important documentary. It does need to get out there. People need to see this shit. There are still people who have been convicted and working in the industry that are not checked out because it is not their jobs to do that. And that's what Corey Feldman is trying to change. That part of it I support. I'm not so sure I support him just telling Corey Haim's story and stuff like that per se.
For money.
And then he's only connected with two of the names that he mentions, and one of them's a real questionable story.
Right.
So, and even the way it's presented, it's like, I don't know if you'd call that sexual assault.
Right.
I mean, it clearly sounds like somebody accidentally just came in the wrong room and accidentally laid down on the wrong bed on somebody.
Right. Well, I mean, you're about my age, and I'm 44, and the Haims, the Coreys were a big deal in the late 80s. And the kid was, I mean, they both battled demons, but Corey Haim
basically what Feldman said in the documentary that hit home for me, or at least that I think most people aren't keying in on it, is the main thing here is he kind of said it's not really the big corporate people, it's not the big producers, not so much the big directors, but it's the managers and agents.
Right. The ones that are really around the kids the most.
The kid all the time. Yes. And gain the kids and parents' trust all the time. Because otherwise, and this is what I've, pointed out with a lot of these situations in the past is, it's really difficult to believe when somebody makes an accusation that something happens on set, because there's hundreds of people around, especially when kids are involved. There's at least a dozen or better people that are, you know, between a parent, a manager, all this person, that person, a safety person, this, you know, insurance people, all this kind of crap constantly around. So, you know, unless it's something that happens off site or out of sight, it's generally.
Well, but Tom, you got to take into consideration the 80s were a different time in Hollywood.
But you had a lot of people who were like jumped on this thing that thought they were going to get like this thing turned over, that there's this big conspiracy and big
like child
Pizzagate kind of thing going on in Hollywood. And I'm not saying there isn't, but I don't know if it's to the extent that they want to believe it is.
But put it this way, predators always find a profession that helps them get close to children. And a manager would be a perfect one. Now you got after Palanuki, who says, in a world where some girl licks toilet seats for a few seconds of celebrity, nothing surprises me on what people are willing to do. But you have Comix, who says it, you know, they also changed the law because of the church sex scandal. And right there, another person who gets into a position where they're going to be close to kids. I mean, the teachers, you know, it's really sick. You have to think this way, but after working with these people for 4 years, it was always the, you know, coach of the football team, the best friend's dad, you know, the leader,
or like Comix Division,
something that's going to give you instant,
or the church,
instant trust.
Right.
Yep.
And the sad thing is kids don't know better unless you teach them. My daughter is now 5. And for the last 4 years, the minute she could talk, I told her where people can't touch her, what to do if someone tries to, you know, talk to her or brings those things up, what to do if someone says they're going to hurt, you know, mommy and daddy, if she doesn't do, like, I have been, you know, for lack of a better word. Yeah, this is not the right word because they use it. So I've been training her to prepare herself for this because it happens way more than you know.
Well, that's a good point.
Scary.
And I think that's another thing that maybe Feldman's documentary is good in bringing out, is that I think it kind of paints Haim's mom into the picture, or the corner at least, that she's part of the reason, or she was aware of this and allowed it to happen. And I think that's the other big thing.
Do, though. The parents know.
Then they'll do it just for fame. Yeah.
Depending on the Michael Jackson. Your view of Michael Jackson, the same thing can be said about him and all the kids and their parents. You know, were they complicit in it? Were they looking the other way? Were they being paid off?
No, the parents were. I mean, some of the parents actually admit Michael would come and say, well, you know, can little Billy sleep with me in bed? And they would allow it because they wanted to be near Michael Jackson, you know?
Well, and see, now here's the thing with that. I don't believe half the shit that comes, because a lot of the guys who have made accusations on Michael have been found to be completely bunked.
And I'll give you that. And you do have people like Corey Feldman and
Macaulay Culkin and a few others. And what's his name? Rabisi, from Fresh Prince. Yeah.
Yes,
even if he did absolutely nothing, the parents still, I mean, it was inappropriate.
No, I know. And the best thing that Macaulay Culkin did come out and say is, look, people don't realize when Michael Jackson says, would you like to sleep in my bed or sleep in my bedroom? His bedroom is actually like bigger than most people's houses.
Right.
It is literally a dual level with a kitchen, like 3 or 4 beds up above and like 2 beds down below, a bunch of video games, a TV, a living room area, all this shit, like a pool table, I think, and all kinds of other crap. And even Macaulay said, that he would never sleep in the same bed. It would always be he would sleep on the floor, and the kids would always sleep in the bed, and the families would generally be staying there too.
Okay, but take this into consideration.
Right. Also. No, I get where you're coming from as far as the optics of it. Oh, yeah. The optics of the
not even the optics.
Michael should have known better.
Not even the optics of it, because if he was willing to do that with the famous kids as a predator, predators always go after the weakest link. So it's not going to be the kid who's famous they're going to try to molest. They're going to try to molest the kid who's, you know, the single mother brings them, and it's a massive honor to go there. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to do Macaulay Culkin or one of the Coreys because they're famous. If they get caught out,
you don't think
screwed.
So?
What I would think he would do is the little kid that nobody knows, and that he's giving them the honor of being there. That's the person he would attack. I'm not saying he did, because I still, my thoughts on this one are still, you know, I usually side with any kid who talks about it, but these are grown now men, and, you know, that are getting their 15 minutes of fame. So I can't really say if it happened or if it didn't happen, but he would not have touched Macaulay Culkin. He would not have touched Corey. He would not have touched anybody who was famous because of the heat that can draw. He would have gone after a weak link, someone he could easily pay off if something happened. I mean, that's what a real predator would do.
But that's assuming that they're thinking straight. I mean,
exactly. I was going to say, I think Dave Chappelle said it best. You know, if you're a pedophile and you get a chance to do something with Macaulay Culkin, that's like a straight guy like us, you know, saying like, you know, I got a chance at like Kathy Ireland or some other, you know.
I get that, but you got to understand, like I worked with thousands of these people.
And I get it. I get what you're saying. Most of the time, your standard.
They're not just going to rip a kid off.
I'm not going to say the name.
Right. Please don't.
They are generally they're much more like Feldman explained in his documentary, where they're much more conniving and clever and methodical about it, as opposed to, here's the thing with people like Michael Jackson, where they've lived in this bubble and they're used to getting everything they want all the time. It's a little different. It's a little harder for me to believe because of the amount of children that have said, oh no, nothing has ever happened.
No, and that's where
the few that have.
I agree.
And again, like I said, the optics don't help Michael. That really sucks for him. But you know, it is what it is on that part, and people are left to believe what they have, you know, do now because he's not alive to defend himself, and you're left with what's out there.
I'll go on record. I don't believe things happened. I think he was, as some of the people in the chat are saying, like Palanuki, he was a grown kid. And I think he was a little childlike in certain ways. His maturity level in certain ways were really, 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 really stunted because of his dad. But I'm just saying, in the psyche of one of these people, they're not just whack jobs, but they're not just whack jobs. They will plan this shit out. They will work years to get what they want.
See, the thing is if you've ever listened to people who knew Michael personally, they would tell you flat out he is straight as an arrow. He would never. I believe it. He was not even remotely homosexual or bisexual in any way.
He was like asexual, wasn't he? Like, did he even
he
like
actually
women?
Had lots of girlfriends. He just didn't have them publicly because of the perception.
Lisa Marie Presley.
That was
pretty public.
That was one of the few times you might argue, argue that was kind of a publicity thing, even though she claims it's not. That's one of the few times I have a hard time believing that one. But
they didn't know for her, but I think it was for him for sure.
Yes, it was for him and for her in a sense to get her out in the public eye.
There was a supermodel he was dating at one point.
Well, he dated Brooke Shields. I think he dated Brooke Shields. Yeah,
see, that's the thing is, it got so like, you know, with him being in such the public eye that's why he built Neverland, so he could have a date without having 20 cameras around him all the time.
Well, and also think about it. He was the first of his kind. I mean, if you want to take anyone prior to him, it was the Beatles and it was Elvis. No one else has even come close to what he was as a star until him. You know what I mean?
Right. And well, and as you were pointing out, is the parents. And that's the thing, is the parents. Yep. The parents push the shit. Joe Jackson is probably one of the main reasons why a lot of these laws exist now, compared to even that and a lot of the kids from the 40s and 50s and stuff like that, because the little rascals got screwed big time.
Big time. Those poor bastards. They got really screwed. And I think it's the kid from either my what show? The guy he's like My Fair Son or something like that. He's the one who's really pushed those laws in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. He has glasses. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Bud Cord, I think his name is.
It might be. Yeah. I think you're right. He really, really changed the laws around the country because of it. And I'm glad he did, because kids were, I mean, look at Drew Barrymore, her mother, and Lindsay Lohan. Their mothers fell in love with the party scene. They felt like they were the stars. They were living vicariously through their kids, and their kids turned out to be humongous drug addicts because of it. Luckily, Drew Barrymore got clean at the age of like 15, but look at Lindsay Lohan. The girl fell apart, man.
Well, Carrie Fisher too.
What about
Macaulay Culkin sued his parents
for the money?
Yeah.
Well, Carrie Fisher grew up in the limelight. Her mother was an actress, and her dad was a singer who's never around. She got into drugs real early.
Right.
All
But I'm not even talking about that though. I'm talking about the parents that weren't famous, like Lindsay Lohan's parents.
No, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Carrie
Like
Fisher was more of a, just because her parents probably weren't around.
right. She was a product of her parents not being there. You're absolutely right.
That's fair, but yeah,
There's a Hollywood baby. Plus, like her mom had to marry someone she didn't love to keep them supported. So a lot of nuts stuff there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Drew's mom, who she said had her like in the club getting high as a kid.
She was doing blow at 13.
Oh, just about all those Disney kids. See, here's the thing: people are like looking at Spielberg and all this shit. It's like you guys are looking in the wrong direction.
Right.
We already know where they're all at. They're over at fucking Nickelodeon and Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that generation of Lindsay Lohan and Hannah Montana. I think the only one that got out without having
you're right. You want to know where to find these fuckers? Go start turning up rocks over at these kids' shows. That's where you find them.
You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. And what they would do is get these kids high, get them fucked up, take advantage of them, and I wouldn't be shocked a documentary comes out. I'm shocked there isn't one yet about Nickelodeon and Disney and how they treated kids in the early 2000s.
There's people, I think that was kind of one of the things I was kind of disappointed with if since Feldman went to all this trouble to go outside of his bubble. Because like I said, really, he only has like one claim to somebody who's ever done anything to him. And he got out of that situation pretty lucky, if you ask me, from the sound of it. Like, I'll be honest with you, Corey Feldman is crying way big victim here. Way big victim here. He has never actually physically been abused from his stories.
Yeah. I suppose watching your friend go through it.
That's different. But is it really his right to be able to profit off what his friend went through and ultimately possibly died over? That's what bothers me.
And if he took that money and donated every penny of it,
it depends on how he goes about it. Right. If he's trying to do it to like continue his story and, like in an honoring of him, I mean, it depends on how he goes about it and what he does with the proceeds.
Well, and that's the problem is he lost all just before the movie released, he lost like all the support of the media because they said the same thing I just did. There's nothing here. Everything here is already well known. And even Corey's accusations would have a hard time standing up in court because nothing actually happened, even in his own accusations, because he got out of there, luckily, in both instances that he talks about.
Right. And all and I'm sorry, I rather hear it from, I don't want to, but I rather hear it from someone who actually went through it and not Corey Feldman, who's trying to make a profit off of his friend's death, which is kind of sad. I hope he's not. But Corey Feldman is one of those kid actors that when the limelight went away, he had a really rough time with it. And he's trying to keep himself in that limelight.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of her name, but the one from, she was one of the Disney or Nick shows, and I can't think of her name.
Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson?
No, but those two
Lindsay
are other
Lohan.
examples, all good examples. But it was another one that really went off the deep end and actually
Was
named
it
her.
Lizzie McGuire chick?
No, she might have been on the show, but
you're talking
the one who went the one who
it's the blonde hair girl,
yeah, blonde
from
Amanda something.
Amanda
Bynes.
Bynes, right?
Oh
yeah,
right.
Amanda Bynes really
lost
went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But she's one of the people I want to hear her story because, well, first of all, she has mental health issues. She wasn't taking medication, but something happened to her. I believe
she's named her accuser, and it was that one director guy and this is where the directors come from, the kids shows, and that's what I'm talking about. He was that one dude who used to be an actor or whatever, and I think it's the same guy they said that was the one that's Britney Spears' kid's dad, the one that was on not Saved by the Bell, Head of the Class. The chubby dude. Fuck is his name?
I never saw Head of the Class.
He was also in Better Off Dead as well.
Not Booger.
No. The fat guy, the chubby guy with the glasses. And
yeah.
He was the intellectual guy on the Head of the Class. He was like the smartest guy. The smartest guy.
Sorry, your mom blew up, Ricky. That guy.
Yes.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He was in Better Off Dead as the Ricky. Or something. Yeah.
Ricky. Yeah. What a great movie.
So that's Better Off Dead.
He's one of the ones who's gotten away with it this long, as far as I know, who's been accused several times. And there's another one over there that's part of those shows who's also been accused, but I can't think of his name right off.
Well, then you got in the music industry, you got Kesha, who was forced to work with the guy she outed as her abuser, and they forced her to finish that album.
Now, the music industry is a place where that kind of stuff has gone on for a lot longer, and still nobody really pays attention to it.
Right.
Because I see so many people, and I'm not saying that they aren't rightfully so, going after like, what's his face, the foreign director?
Polanski.
Yeah.
Polanski, but don't say shit about what's the lead singer, Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin and shit. And the stuff that they pulled and crap in the past.
Or not Jimmy Page. You're thinking of Townsend.
Townsend, you're right. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
That just, and you ever wonder, that one just disappeared.
Exactly.
You heard about the pictures, and then it was gone.
Oh, look at Elvis. How many 13-year-old girls did Elvis have, for fuck's sake?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Right.
Jerry Lee Lewis. And all those guys, yeah.
It is. It's quite disturbing, the music industry, because of the decadence, because of that like lifestyle that they allow that stuff to get. I mean, think of all the young groupies that some of these 22, 23-year-old boy bands sleep with.
Yeah.
I mean, these are 16-year-old girls. And granted, in most states that's legal, but how many of them are really 14? How many of them are really 13? You know,
go back further, Scott. What about, like, good God, the carnage that Motley Crue, Poison, them bands like that.
They all got away with that shit.
No, I know. I mean, Motley Crue was giving, before they were even famous, they were giving women enemas in their hotel
You know
room.
what's funny about that shit?
You guys watch that movie, The Dirt?
No, not yet.
No.
Motley Crue movie. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good.
I've heard about it, but no, like that's the thing about these kind of things is the stigma of it. It's weird because I've seen, I should say, the same people who go after Polanski or even Woody Allen and shit like that with no, reserve whatsoever. But then you bring up, like Townsend and shit like that and all those guys, and they're just like, oh, well, those girls knew exactly what they wanted and they were doing it. It's like, how is that any fucking different? Just because they are a rock star, you think that's okay?
Right. Well, you got Palanuki who says, I'm a DJ. I'm now 40. Every week I have to say no to 18-year-old girls. Palanuki, I know you're from France, but that's legal in the States, so you don't have to say no, brother.
It's not just that. It's also just a creepy mentality because I get it. I'm no famous person by any means, but I've had girls that were like 21 hit on me, and it just didn't feel right because like I would be old enough. I've started high school before they were born. Like it's just a weird mentality because I used to babysit people when I was in high school, and I have godchildren that are in the same age group as some of the women that I met before I have my current girlfriend. That it was just uncomfortable. It's like, no, this is not right. And also, I would rather be like a boyfriend or a spouse than a pseudo parent to a person. So like there's that mentality that you have to consider as well. It's not just about getting with something young and supposedly cleaner. Well,
some of them are also just trying to get a come up. I mean, they just want someone to take care of them.
There's a lot. Jane, I think you hit on something because there's that sugar daddy mentality around for a lot of young women now, and I don't know exactly where that got started. I mean,
that's been around. What are you talking about?
I mean, sure,
it's always been around, but you have it as a thing now.
Drew, I hate to break it to you, there have been young women marrying old rich men since the beginning of time.
Oh yeah,
yep. Blackadder has a great episode about it.
But it's like I've noticed it's a lot more prevalent, Tom. Like in the last...
maybe just because there's more people around, and maybe because it's a little bit more accepted now.
Yeah,
maybe that's it. Because you go back 20, 30 years, it was pretty taboo for a 40, 50-year-old guy to be dating a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I disagree.
Well, I mean, back then, it's like Scott said, it wasn't an eyebrow wasn't raised too much at it, but you didn't have girls. I guess it's in the age of Twitter too. You didn't have girls blatantly coming out saying, hey, I'm looking for a sugar daddy. What up?
That part's very true.
I mean, it just started Instagram channel and look 18, and you will get guys giving you money.
Well, yeah, in the internet age nowadays, it's first of all, it's easier just to get out there and say what the fuck you want. Like Jane's saying, like if you're just looking for a sugar daddy, which means you're willing to string somebody along for some money, and you got some dumbass who's willing to pay you, then go for it.
So be it.
I mean, I look at it this
now,
way. I try not to judge anybody as long as it's between two legal consenting adults. I guess there's nothing anybody should do about it. That's my feelings.
Yep.
No, you know, I mean, once you start bringing in animals and stuff, that's questionable because they can't.
You're absolutely right.
You never bring in animals. They just
you can get a monkey to nod yes or sign yes, maybe.
Yeah, but Coco don't know what the fuck's going on.
That's just brain, yeah.
Whatever, you don't know. Coco's really into it.
Yeah, well, you know, and I think Tom, you hit it perfectly, and Jane too. It's also we hear more about sex offenders, we hear more about older men, and now the cougar age because of social media, because of the access. Ever since the iPhone came out in 2008, you know that access to have everything we want to know instantly. The world has changed, and the guy who may never have actually tried dating a young woman now could do it the easiest way possible, you know? So that's maybe why it seems more prevalent.
Yeah, that too. And again, like I said, you have more people. The internet has turned the world into a meat market. It used to be a lot harder to cheat.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I mean...
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean,
And
there
then
are websites for cheating now.
Yeah. Ashley Madison.
Yeah, there you
5
go.
years ago, started whatever.
Yeah.
There's like sugar babies or something, which is a website too for, you know, to find a sugar daddy.
I'll find
Isn't
a
that
sugar
like
mama.
a company name from Designing Women?
I don't know. That would be funny.
Yeah.
They flip that around.
So we got Tyler Mango saying, I'm definitely into girls 18 and plus. I'm 20, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got Willie Woodward. Hey, gotta go. Take care. Take care.
If somebody
brother.
else wants to jump in here, I do got to run here real shortly.
Well, you can bounce, brother. It's okay. We can have 5.
Well, I'll stick around for like 5 minutes till somebody shows up for you. I don't want to.
Oh, I don't think anybody. I don't know if anybody else will, but that's seriously okay, Tom. Whenever you want to bounce out.
I always like talking to Tom. His sexy voice makes me tingly.
Oh, I got to get the door. That is a author.
They canceled breakfast. Come on, man.
Not in the chat. It's literally
I
in
hear the
room.
voice.
He's literally in my room. Yes,
I can hear the voice.
we're doing a roommate thing for the next 2 days or 3 days. I don't even know.
Gay lover.
Nice.
Yeah, he's giving me a back rub every night for his payment.
Oh, he's
the casting couch.
he is giving you the back. He's bringing the back kisses.
Actually, Jane, you're absolutely right. It is a casting couch.
How do you think Sporking got his place on the fourth wave?
Thank you. Thank you, Final, for telling everyone. I thought that was in confidence. We told you
I just
that.
outed you.
You son of a bitch. Actually, we're gonna close it up in a few minutes. So if everyone wants to go, Tom left anyway. Screw him. Okay, so let's go on. I don't know if you want to jump on from your phone. Do you have earbuds? All right, if you want to jump on your phone.
Not going to share the mic.
No, we're not going to do like fucking Sonny and Cher there. All right, bro. We're not. All right.
Oh God.
All I want everyone to know is my microphone's bigger than Steven's. Sorry, man. I had to point that out. You know, I have to say, I love these streams. I've been doing them more often every night lately because, well, we're coronaed out, but it's fun to get into conversation. I never have really a way I'm going to go with these. You know what I mean? Like, and I love the conversations we get into. What happened, Tom?
As perfectly timed that was actually my
Is he
PC
talking?
overheating and dying on me.
Oh, that's why you're the giant nipple.
So yeah, I'm actually on my phone.
Is everything
at the
okay?
moment. I just wanted to let you know I was not just
Did
like.
someone tell me if Tom's all right?
He's
Okay, so you got the 2 nipples.
Oh my God.
Well,
Script
somebody's gonna
Doctor,
have to
that
explain
is
to
sexy.
Scott what's going
God,
on? but,
script
yeah.
doctor.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I
Is
didn't mean
his
to
name
duck
Script
out on
Doctor or
that.
Strip Doctor?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
wait a second. I was gonna say for a second I was
Sex and white man.
I was stuck between two giant StreamYard tits.
All right,
Yeah, I
well, you
was
guys
trying to do
explain
that.
it to Jeff. Explain it to Jeff there since I can't come in. So
Yeah.
I mean, Scott, of course, he knows that.
But yeah, because I was surprised, Tom, because you didn't have a comeback to my nice compliment about you.
I didn't get to hear it. I ducked out as soon as he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, if you want to leave, you can duck out anytime. All of a sudden, my computer just goes black.
I was saying your sexy voice makes me tingle.
Tom's leaving in a minute or two.
Yeah, I gotta go. So, all right, take care, guys. Let Scott know what's going on. So,
all right, take it easy, buddy.
Sisters later.
See ya. Oh man, Script Doctor, I'm gonna go gay for you now.
Oh God.
I haven't used this thing in so long. I had to use an old ass avatar.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Are you on your phone, or you set up your computer?
I'm on my phone. I'm technically, as we speak, right next to Scott's wash sink.
So you're in the other room.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm looking at his
Oh my God.
toothbrush and
That's
thinking.
No, are you guys in Virginia? Is that
Yeah.
where- Okay, so you guys are both still working. They haven't called off anything, huh?
No,
Nope.
Oh wow.
don't pick up my lotion and tissues.
Sorry.
This is super homoerotic now.
It's not homoerotic. It's just erotic nowadays.
I
Come
see
on,
you
don't
use
be
that
so
speed
sensitive.
stick, Scott.
God.
Happy to Loja.
Well, Stephen, it is Pants Off Tuesday, so let's get to it. So let's what's next? What are we talking about? Toilet licking? I keep seeing Twisted Mind.
Does Scott know he's muted on the StreamYard part?
No, he doesn't. He's sitting here talking to me
I
straight.
totally have been sitting here talking to
I
you.
like hearing it from the other side.
Are you literally? Everyone heard me from his microphone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God I was French kissing him.
I should have let that go longer.
Yeah.
You know what, Final? I'm starting to learn you're a dick.
Long enough.
So Steven, how was the ride?
Long. I had to stop in Jaloja, but other than that, I just kept on trucking. You know, I saw some emergency vehicles out there. Travel was a bit thinner than I'm used to seeing. You know, I do a lot of traveling across the eastern seaboard. Other than that, it was fine.
Did you notice just grocery stores closed or anything like that over there?
No, I didn't notice any of that. But when I went to go hit the Delaware-Maryland state line, and there were no the cash-only tolls were shut down because they don't have people to work for them. That was a bit strange. No, it wasn't free. Oh, no, it ain't free. You can go through the Easy Pass, which is the electronic pass that you use on the East Coast. You could do that, but you'll get charged, out an arm and a leg for it. They'll send you a bill.
That is messed up, but they have not. Why don't you mute when I'm talking, dude? It's
just
weird.
so cool though.
It's weird that they have not announced that. You know what I mean? Like they haven't announced that. Hey, by the way, we're not going to have anybody in the freaking toll booths. All right, I'm mute now. You could talk if you want.
Or just wave the toll.
I think you guys are both muted.
No, he is muted.
We don't hear either of you.
It's okay. We're doing things. We're totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talk through my microphone. I got you, babe. Do. Yeah, my wife.
Oh,
was
so now you're gonna share the microphone.
Well, my wife was questioning my manhood when she was like, how long have you known this guy and he's staying in your room? I'm like, we're only sharing a bed. God, Michael Jackson style. Oh, I had it muted. Oh, you didn't realize I had all this setup going on, huh? Yeah, I got a little bored, a microphone stand, whatever. I'm pretty cool. I'm moving up in the world. You know how it goes, people. All right, we're going to end this stream because I have nothing else to talk about. Anybody else have anything? We can keep going if you like, but I know that Tom is going on at 9:00, so I do want to catch that. Anybody? Jane, do you have anything that's been going on in your life you want to just out people? Whatever you want to do.
No, just chilling.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, everybody out there, if you haven't gone to Jane Theory's channel, make sure that you love her up, sub, and get the word out about her channel because Jane Theory's awesome and she makes great content.
What was that, Stephen?
I'll love her up soon.
Oh, He'll love you.
Well,
up some.
well, yeah, she's an amazing lady, but
Now- Wait a minute. I want to hold on.
any of us would love her up. But yes, going.
Palanuki has a question. Can we talk about the fact that Script Doctor has the picture ready to use? For what purpose? Is it his sexy clone? Yeah,
No,
Script,
that's
how long
me.
have you had that one prepared for?
Is that your other
I
live
actually
stream
made
that
it
you
during
do?
this. I made it during this stream. Actually, if you zoom into my chest, they are the actual user absence of avatar nipples.
Zoom into your chest, huh?
Yeah, that's as close as you can get. But yeah, each nipple is the missing avatar.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Oh, I
that's
see
it.
that. I see that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Wow. That is subtle.
So white.
Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag Script Doctor's nipples are so white.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
All right. And we have another one from Nerd Cookies. And if you have not subscribed to Nerd Cookies, please do. She does awesome Dune videos.
Yes.
Really, really good
Oh,
ones.
I love Dune.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am subscribed.
seriously, Jane, jump over on her channel. It's really, really good. Can we talk about the male Mac? I've been dying to talk about the male Mac. What's that about?
Mail Mac?
I think
Melmac?
he's using the term Mac as in Buddy or Buster. Can we talk about the male Mac?
Can we talk about the mail, Mac? Let's talk about the mail, Mac. Hey, Mac.
What? The male? What's going on with the male? Like chain mail?
Is there any mail? Like, it's snail mail still a thing?
Are they mailing
Also
mac
get
and
packages?
cheese?
That is still a thing.
Nerd Cookie, please follow up in the chat. I need to know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm doing shots of Jameson for St. Patrick's Day right
Hey,
now.
happy St. Patrick's Day to that.
So happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
That's a really good. You know what? I needed to ask that question. Drew, did you find anything else out about Filipino children, little boy babies getting their balls rolled?
No, I haven't found out anything investigative about that. But
investigative reporter on this, man.
But
this is
but-
what you do.
But there is, funny enough, a story that my fellow Bounding Into Comics writer, Jorge, just let me know about. And
Jorge, is he Filipino?
no, Jorge is Mexican, bro.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm not, you know what, dude? I'm sorry. I'm not one of those people that just assumes. Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to before I wanted to actually screen share this before we go, because this is where we're at with Marvel, guys. And let me find the tab here. Here we go.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to change because I'm going to catch cold shirtless. So let's just fix that here.
So this is where we're at with Marvel. Marvel Comics introduces new non-binary superhero character Snowflake as part of its woke New Warriors lineup.
This can't be real.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
This is them
This
trolling,
cannot be
right?
real.
Listening.
The New Warriors. And this here is a picture of the cover of the New Warriors.
Well, there we go.
What's-
That's
so is
material for
Snowflake the
videos.
one in blue?
I'm assuming so.
Who's the
It
chubby one?
shows it right here. Trailblazer is the chubby one.
Looks like Bouncing Boy.
Yeah, Screen Time is the okay. This is like this kind of
That's a joke.
this kind of offends me because it kind of looks like me and it pisses me off. I don't like that.
And you know what? That is racist if you think about it. Screen Time, an Asian kid that's like a gamer.
Oh, it's Safe Space? Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, they paired them together.
Like
Wait a minute, wait a
Safe
minute.
Space go together.
This is Snowflake
Oh.
is
Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins.
Are they?
Are they? Is
there
that male and
villains?
female?
That's you, Jane.
they would be dark skinned. I was just about to say that. Like, this is God, I hate this.
Now, can I ask you a question? Are the villains like microaggression and
Be negative.
The human match, like to
Be
melt the
negative.
snowflake.
Be negative, a gay vampire. How about that?
No.
oh my god!
Really, not A positive.
Yep. So
I just want to say real quick.
I've ever seen.
I just want to say real quick to Nerd Cookie. I looked it up. It is an always sunny thing, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
So that is your New Warriors team.
Wow.
That is the dumbest
I
thing
can
I've
kick
ever
all their
heard.
ass.
They're
And that,
going-
yeah, exactly. It's the first superheroes that you can envision kicking their ass because you can.
Someone should have rolled their balls when they were a baby to keep them tight.
I think
Thank you. Yes.
I think the Native American looking one did get their balls rolled.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
so stereotypical. Like the whole thing is racist. Throw it away.
Yes,
it-
thank you, Jane.
there's legitimately in the story. There's legitimately a trailer on YouTube, guys. So look it up. The New Warriors from Marvel, and it introduces them in the trailer, which is
Oh my
probably
God.
even worse than this article that we ran. But yeah,
All of the new microaggressors.
yeah, it's awful. But this is where we're at right now with Marvel Comics.
They're going to turn that into a Disney Plus show as soon as they possibly can.
Oh, you know
Man,
it.
we're all worried about the BeerBug going around, but I'm wearing this thing now for the new Warriors.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
No, don't save me, please. Don't save me. I'm better off. I'm okay. I'm fine.
I'm good. I'm wearing a hazmat suit.
I'll take my
I'm fine.
chances.
Well,
Oh my God, that's a good question. If B negative bites you, do you turn into a gay vampire?
Yeah, probably.
Not only that, if you get B negative blood in your system and you're like not a universal donor, that's going to cause some messed up medical issues.
You're
aside from
absolutely right. Like,
vampirism.
no, I'm O negative or whatever O is. Don't
I'm
do
AB
it.
positive.
I
You're going to
wanna-
kill me with your bite.
I want to ask a serious question, though, guys. How do you think the SJWs are going to react to this? Are they
They're not
actually
gonna buy it.
Are they actually
won't buy
going
it.
No, they'll
they
hate it.
actually?
They'll hate it and complain about it because they
It'll
hate to
be-
complain about everything.
It'll be exactly what they usually do. They'll tweet about it and not fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they might even have problems with it, depending
Yeah, I
on
think
how
they'll have problems with it.
everybody else gets.
Oh, they will have problems with it.
I want to know if this is like satire, if this is like, like this person's doing this just to say, look how dumb this is. Because Snowflake and fucking Hidden Corner or whatever the fuck the other one was called, like, are you
Space.
kidding me?
Space.
Yeah, whatever.
Hitting
Yeah.
corner.
Bad Touch is like one of the villains. Like, I'm very confused.
Sock puppet.
A safe space is a snowflake like evaporates so easily. It's the weakest thing of our society. Like water has more durability than a snowflake.
Are they ripping off the Wonder Twins? Like Snowflake turns into a very fragile ice cube and
And the safe space just becomes a block to retain that ice cube.
yeah,
If this
or
were-
like
Scott, if this were done in like a satire, like the show The Tick or the comic book The Tick,
right. That's what
that
I'm
would
at.
actually
be
be
brilliant.
genius. Yeah, I would
that's
be
what I'm
really into that.
Nerd Cookie says, I think they're just throwing stuff against the wall out of creative desperation and seeing if something sticks. Palanuki says, it looks like an educational comic doctors would give to people with mental health. Comix Division says SJWs don't buy comics. Exactly, my friend.
Oh.
Tyler Mango. Prior to this one, Tyler Mango said he has better characters. I'd like to see those. They will complain again, and again. It's never an end. It's a never-ending cycle. Nerd Cookie. Once again, SJWs will move on to the next thing they're mad about and not be fans of this stuff, just like they didn't buy tickets to Bird of Prey or Charlie's Angel. I actually watched Charlie's Angel. I didn't mind it. It wasn't that bad. Yes, it was SJW as hell, but you know what? It wasn't nearly as good as the forgettable one in the early 2000s, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I just would never.
It was better than Birds of Prey.
It was way better.
And it was
Palanuki
competently
again.
directed. It just kind of felt overstuffed and, like overstuffed and with too much stuff going on, too much story plot, and it's very predictable.
Tyler Mango's comment is great.
Which one?
The villains are Captain Patriarchy, Mr. Toxic, and Super Racist Man.
Oh, don't forget microaggression. Like
Yeah, you gotta-
a super small guy that can hit with the power of a tank.
Yeah, he's like the evil Ant-Man, and then you
Evil
have
Ant-Man,
to have-
microaggression. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bad Touch. Bad Touch comes out of nowhere when you're sleeping alone and slips in. You don't even see him.
No, they'll just call it Harvey Weinstein.
He's the head. He's like the Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just when I see something like that, it's no wonder that that independents are succeeding so much because, you know, the actual main comic audience has been like slapped in the face, left behind time after time. DC's done it, Marvel's done it. Right. And this is just another. I mean, this is the culmination here, where it shows like, okay, you know, the fucking industry has lost their mind. At least Marvel and DC. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I'm fat and I love you.
Sorry, laughing at Stephen Walton.
So let me ask you a question then. So this is a Marvel Comics, the New Warriors Comix Division. Will you go and buy it, Comix Division? Let us know in the chat. Because I know you're a comic head. I mean, you have comic in your name. So, you know, I think this is just getting to the point where if it's not satire, we are gone to the wrong place, man.
Well, I encourage like the hardcore comics channels. Somebody out there, you know, please do a review of this series when it does hit.
I mean, it might be worth getting the first copy just to do a review on it, because it's probably going to make some pretty good material.
I do have a question.
Who's the creator of these new warriors? Who's the author behind this, or and I air quote author?
And I want to know the illustrator too, because that is some sad shit. Now, while you're looking
like drawn together, like, and not in the fun part,
right? But what's sad is also they're putting this shit out, and right now Gary's streaming, and one of the things in his title was, you know, that the DC and Marvel are saying "F you" to comic shops, like. Right. They're not just you know, not helping them out during this time. They're forcing them to buy comics they don't need anymore. Mm-hmm. And they're also giving them shit that no one wants to buy.
Actually, I was like this. Gary.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. The New Warriors writer is Daniel Kibblesmith. Is his name.
Kibblesmith? Is that a real fucking name? Come on.
Sounds like it's,
Daniel
named after dog food?
Daniel Kibblesmith, yes. That's his name.
And the illustrator is Chet Perina.
Yeah, they say the artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the New Warriors and gave them costumes that felt as modern as the New Warriors costumes feel classic and instantly familiar.
That's a guy who wears a dress.
Yeah.
And not one of those Federation dresses.
Yeah. Kibblesmith said, I wanted to have teen characters who felt as now, in quotations, as the New Warriors did in 1990. The New Warriors have been zeitgeist characters from the beginning, and you get edgy skateboarding Night Thrasher in the 90s and a reality TV type of team in the 2000s. And now in 2020, we have New Warriors who have never grown up without the internet, and one character who appears to live inside it.
And this brings me to my next
How is that
point.
not sad?
Crack is bad. Don't do crack.
He was high when he did this.
Very high. And Comix Division, you must do a video on this, please.
Yeah, please.
Comics, you have to. You have no choice. You are there to entertain us.
Yes.
Comix Division. This is like right in your like wheelhouse.
This is in your wheelhouse. Be positive. Get on it.
Get on it. I'm gonna bite you. And be positive, bitches.
Hey,
is it be positive or be negative?
It's be negative, which is
like
counterproductive to what they're trying to be. Like they want their warriors to be negative.
It should be positive.
Yeah, it should be positive.
Hey,
I'm positive or a positive. Or
be positive would be
what Scott
so
was
much
saying earlier on Scott's stream. I was listening to it. Actually,
Gary's stream.
On Gary's stream. Sorry, on Gary's stream. I'm insane.
Yes,
the comic retailer, what is it? Something Press, Lightning Press, something. I can't think of their name. They're actually
Diamond and Lightning Press.
Lightning.
They're taking back Lightning Press. They're taking back the comics.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So at least they are trying to help out. But what about Diamond? Diamond's been a mother effort for years.
I mean, I'm not in those circles, but that's what Gary was saying on his show. So,
Comic,
I'm
do
just
you know
relaying that
anything about
information.
that? Comix Division, let us know. Comix Division also says this comic makes my soul hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not the only thing that's going to hurt, buddy.
Yeah. Screenshot coming at you.
But
This
stop
comic is a
it.
microaggression to all retailers.
Stop it. We have Snowflake in safe space. Leave me alone.
Snowflake in safe space.
I know. What is that?
Be negative. Maybe it is a satire.
It
They're
has
all
to be.
negative, you know. I mean, maybe it is a satire.
If it is a satire, it'll be genius.
It will be if it is.
If it's actually written as satire, it will be genius.
Why name it Be Negative? That does seem, unless it's a satire.
It's so weird.
I
I mean,
you know, they
what
are
do
all
they do?
negative.
They go after like the normal people on the street that are just being dicks.
Right. Well, it's almost as bad. If it's satire, it's going to be like the ambiguously gay duo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it has to be like that.
Ace
Yeah,
and
which is
Gary
weird.
just
Rightfully represented by Snowflake.
Ask
What
her
was
again.
that? I missed it.
Jane, do you feel rightfully represented by Snowflake?
Not at all. It's every kind of stereotype in that.
Can someone tell me how you guys are all getting the masks on your avatars? I want one.
I just
Yeah,
photoshopped
made
it
it.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't Photoshop. Final, I need you to do something for me after this.
All right.
So wait a minute. We got a little more from Comix. Comix says, let's see. Sporking News Pocket. Do I know what? Oh, so we're asking you, do you know if Diamond is going to take back comic books from comic shops and try to help them out? DJ Odyssey in the house. And CJH, what is up? Hi L to everyone. So I don't know, guys. All I know is if this is not a satire, this is a very, very, very sad day in comic book history. Like Snowflake and not microaggression. What the fuck's its name?
Snowflake and Safe Space.
Safe Space and Bad Touch and all these fucking comic
Screensaver or something. The other one.
Yeah, Screensaver, the Asian kid who lives in the fucking game. I would be pissed too if I was a Filipino with my nuts rolled. Oh my God.
What's with the obese Native American girl? Like what?
Well, right.
They're just representing everybody. Representation.
Drive-through.
I don't feel represented by these groups of new warriors.
Are they trying to call? No, her name's Reservation. But they have her like.
Oh God.
Well, no. What they're saying is like she would be in good shape if the people in the reservations got better food and not just McDonald's. God. She should sell cigarettes. That should be something she throws at people.
And fire.
No,
water.
that's wasted money.
Oh, that's true. Son of a bitch. All right, we're gonna call it a quits, kids. Thank you everybody for coming. I think that's
Oh, we ended on a high. Yeah, at least we stuck around long enough for that. Thank you, Drew.
Drew,
Yes,
you
thanks,
just
Drew.
you finished that one off nice. So why doesn't everybody go around? We'll start with Script. Where can they find you? What you're working on? Script Doctor does have a new episode 7 of Picard out. I might have used the wrong word instead of then and they. Then or oh, just explain it, Script.
He's not using the right pronouns. How dare you?
No, he just confused then with than. So the advertising for this podcast was come watch me here rather than watching my show afterwards, which is perfectly fine. I thought it was great. It's good little Twitter joke. But for now, yes, my episode 7 review of Picard has just dropped. So feel free to go over there and like, comment, and interact with that because it's fresh. Tomorrow I'll be working most of the day on my episode 8 review. Hopefully I can get that done and out before episode 9 is released. But you can find me at Supreme Heretics channel, Drew Taylor's, on Thursdays, where we do Battlestar Galactica review from the Pegasus Actual podcast. So check us out there with author Stephen Walton, Brian the Gravedigger, Raquel, and of course
Bear Nerd Fun.
Bear Nerd Fun. Why was I spacing on
Don't
him? I
you
love
dare
Bear.
forget Bear, you son of a bitch.
I love Bear. He's like a Washington version of Mike McDonald, the stand-up comedian. He's good.
We're gonna do episode season 1, episode 11, Colonial Day. That's gonna be pretty good.
Listen, ball roller, it's not your turn to talk.
Or Terry.
That's all for me. You can also find me on Twitter at Script Doctor PhD.
Just kidding, Drew. Jane Theory, you're up next.
Okay, sure. You guys can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Insta, Pinterest, pretty much everywhere. Jane Theory. I have television and film reviews on Sundays at 6 Central, news and commentary on Wednesday. And my latest review was of Westworld Season 3, Episode 1. So check it out.
Nice.
I definitely
I'm
will.
checking that out.
Drew, why don't you go next, Drew? Because I feel bad that I talked about your balls again.
Oh, that's all right, Scott. We can talk about this privately sometime. but oh god, you can find me youtube.com Supreme Heretic. My channel, I do primarily streaming content. Obviously, my best thing that we have is the Pegasus Actual podcast. I love it, and author Stephen Walton, script doctor, myself, Bear, and of course Brian the Gravedigger and Raquel.
At least you remembered Bear.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, man, it's awesome chemistry on the panel, and big shout out to DJ Odyssey because I see him in the chat there. Between him and Adega and all the crazy theories about finding Boxy, man, we are gonna have when we actually we're gonna do awards for the best Boxy theory.
Honestly, Tyler, if you're still out there, just watch Battlestar. Even if you don't watch Battlestar, come watch our show. You will fit right in.
Yes,
we need you for Boxy theories.
Yes. That is.
I would say it's Palanuki and Twisted Mind Theory is Twisted Mind in that one too, because those guys come up with some great stuff. Just like
Palanuki, he comes by, and so does Twisted Mind Theory, and I know Nerd Cookies will probably be by this Thursday, so we'll have a ton of people in there participating. But yeah, I can't wait because we have such a good time with it, and Steven is a huge Battlestar Galactica head like me, and he's like a kid in a candy store every time we do that show.
Yeah, well, he does hang out at candy stores. Next up is our good friend and LA shut-in. His name is FinalDeathStar.
Well, you can find my next video, which will be all about the safe spaces of the new Warriors. Definitely doing a video on that. I just did a video on the streaming services for online gaming that they're all having a lot of trouble. Their servers can't keep up with the demand with everyone being stuck at home. They're all turning to video games to try to help pass the time, and the streaming services are going down. So Xbox Live, Nintendo, PlayStation, all of them. So I just did a video covering that, and I'm actually spending time right now going back through the entire Star Trek series. So I'm into the original series right now. I'm going to work my way through, all of them.
See, I'm doing Next Generation right now, and it is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have questions for Steven and Bear, because I know those two guys are big Star Trek fans. So maybe our next Wave show, we'll talk about that, because there's some certain things in the first series that kind of play into what's going on with the Picard show, and I just have some questions about that.
Sure.
So,
good
ask
conversation when you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are too, aren't you, Script Doctor? You're a big Star Trek.
I know this because I'm doing Picard reviews.
Right.
Odyssey crossing over, putting a Boxy theory in the working chat. I love it.
The Boxy theory is just for this stream. Boxy got locked inside Sporky News Podcast newsroom and is trying to work his way out.
Yes.
DJ, man, you rock, bro. And Steven, where can they find you? Room 518? What? Oh shit! Don't come to my place.
You can find me under the newsroom desk right now.
Yeah, well, you got it. If you want to stay, you got to play.
Check me out on Twitter at Lodonis, Lodonis, and my YouTube channel, author Stephen Walton, where I occasionally put up videos. Probably put up more than I usual because we're all trapped inside. Well, at least some of us, anyway. And yeah, that's about it. Take care, guys. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. And be safe.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming, and we're going to end it here. And just remember, if they start calling you names,